Hello everyone, it's great to be here. We are in Saigon after the SEO Mastery Summit, and one of the key speakers, dear Karl Hudson, is with us. And we will together be doing a kind of review for the Topical Authority course and about its, let's say, the positive sides or the negative sides. And Karl, I believe you have spent really good amount of time for the course, right? And did you enjoy this time?
After many sleeps,
Sleepless.
deep sleeps often incurred. Yeah, the course is brilliant. All joking aside, obviously it is quite intense, especially when you kick off, I believe, at the start with the whole Saigon, which is like over close to 2 hours.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of terminology in that speech that if you're new to it, you're not going to understand. And that's when it was quite intense. But then when you get into the actual course itself, you know, you start to... I've been in the SEO game for a very long time.
Yeah.
And in very similar niches, Koray, casino, you start to understand things. Obviously, Koray goes down a patent point of view. So he's using terminology that's very patent related or connected to the patents. And from an SEO standpoint, I'm not sitting there reading patents. I'm testing and implementing tests. And then this is kind of... you start to connect the dots of the knowledge of what you've been doing actually equals this patent. And that's kind of, I think that's the part that a lot of people struggle with. The course itself is absolutely brilliant. Probably have to go through it 3, 4, 5 times, even myself more, because each time you go through it, you pick up a little bit more.
You see something different.
Exactly. But our approach obviously with SEO is kind of like, it's like the Kyle Roof approach, where as long as you're faster than your friend, you'll outrun the bear. You'll outrun your friend, not the bear. And that is kind of our approach is, you know, as long as we're learning something new that is implementable at scale, then the team can implement. And that's what works brilliant with it.
Happy to know that. And before, I believe you mentioned that actually one of your casino projects or casino-related projects, you said that actually you didn't know why one of the projects actually ranked higher than the others because you were processing everything on that specific project. And when you see the course, you start to understand why that one was actually ranking better than the others.
Yeah.
Because you were even, if I may say, you were focusing on every related detail about the slot machines or slot games.
Yeah.
You can maybe expand that part a little bit too.
Yeah, so we kind of went down the route of what I would consider as like the topical authority back in the day was, you know, you're just covering the topic in its entirety. So we were finding every single keyword related to slot games. We were doing reviews. We were really going into detail, but we weren't going into the level of detail that's explained in the course about like macro and micro context.
It's more organized.
Semantic flow. Exactly. It was more just a silo by pages, but not actually looking so much at the detail on the page, which that's when you start looking at that, that's when real changes start to happen.
And may I ask that, do you think that the course is unique?
Very unique. I think he's a bit, you know what I mean? But the course is exceptional, to be fair. Corey's a lovely guy. He just needs to toughen up a little bit.
Yeah, I need to be, let's say, more like James. I hope one day. I really like, can also tell the right thing.
I would not want to be like him one day. Don't ever wish that.
Even if I'm able to like 2% like James, it's good enough for me. Like, more than 2%.
Smaller.
2% is good enough. Optimum person. And in the course, when you go through it, what was the hardest thing for you? Was it at the beginning for changing the mindset?
Yes. Yeah. So the hardest part is like getting past the initial shock to the brain and understanding, making the semantic connections in your brain.
Yeah.
That is the key, because understanding it.
I believe many SEOs still try to focus on a single keyword with single page, and you just create simple silos. But actually, when it comes to the semantics, once you start to understand priorities of the search engine, you actually start to get what you should be doing by spending what type of money for what type of network of queries. It's like a bigger picture.
And reducing the cost of retrieval and lowering all of that side down for the search engines, which reduces the amount of pages. So it kind of all makes sense once you understand the big picture of it all.
And Max, how many times did you finish the course?
2.5. I'm busy going through it now.
Lazy.
2.5. The blue hat one I've just completed on the
YouTube ones, yes.
To be fair, if I was saying advice for people getting started. I actually quite enjoyed going. I don't know if it was because I understood from the course, going through the course more, but the Blue Hat series was definitely more actionable points.
Yes.
Which was like really good if you want to just get straight into actionable points. But if you don't understand the actionable points, then refer to the course.
Definitely. Okay then, dear Karl Hudson, I am thankful for all of your honest feedbacks, and I am sure that actually we will see your names way much more than before because you decided to go on public.
Yes.
And you decided to share suddenly. So I'm really happy to see you that, by the way, because you were always in every conference behind the curtains.
Yeah.
And many people ask me sometimes, why do you share? So what I will do if I don't share? Like when I share, we don't see any harm. So I'm glad that actually you go on the stage and you explain all of your unique experiences. Because also in the whitehead industry, so for instance, myself is connected to many different mindsets and the groups in the SEO. Sometimes the whitehead people or let's say bigger industry people think different about the casino. But in reality, actually, people who do SEO in the casino, they know lots of things, way much more things.
It's almost like the Paul Hopper, one of the guys that we're having a chat with here, is like, you don't know what people don't know, and you start speaking to them, and all of a sudden, actually, this guy's quite high level, and you start being able to have that little bit deeper conversation. Yeah. Whereas before you were always just like surface level. You don't want to say too much because it's like, I don't know what you know.
Yeah.
But having that deeper conversation with people obviously helps. And if people aren't networking as well, 100% network.
Personally, I started from casino, then I went into the whitehead, and I realized that actually people who are in the whitehead agency places, to be honest, at least this is a statement for 2019, 18-ish. They didn't know that much. And that was the reason I started writing case studies, because to be able to communicate with them, first I need to put the proofs and the background information.
Yeah.
And then it was way much easier. Okay, my friend, I believe we will have many more memoirs together. I hope that memoirs won't evolve in life threateners.
No massages. Or really soft ones.
I don't want to be beaten. And only 2% James.
Thank you, Koray.
Thank you so much, brother.